obviously that's what this show is all about. And what role can frequency or energy healing play in restoring balance?
Yeah, so for me, I usually think that most things come, a lot of things come from trauma or from unreleased emotions or thought loops. And so we start with because I know this is going to be a paradigm shift for a lot of people too, but it's thinking about the fact that you are a body inside a mind instead of a mind that's just a byproduct from the body having, neurons in the brain. And so when you look at it this way where it's everything is coming from you out and you're creating your reality, then we think about our thoughts really like our belief system really at the top. So when we have a belief system and we have a worldview, then when events happen to us, we think about that thought, we give it meaning, and then that becomes an emotion that we feel about it. The emotion then becomes chemistry in the body. And that chemistry then affects this down to the cellular level because you're blanketing your body in transmitters and hormones and other things now, which is why these things you can't separate mind and body. Like even those koshas, it's not possible to separate. It's nice to label to give us a way to access talking about it, but it really is all one thing. So when those things happen where you create or you give meaning to the content of your life and that content is negative or it's ruminating in a thought loop which creates these emotions about all the future things that kind of look like that thing you're worried about, right? Because you will always scan the environment now to prove to yourself things you already believe, even if that is negative for you, right? Because the familiar is easier than the unknown for most people. So even when these things are negative, we will continue to do them just because that's habitual to us. And when that happens, at least from an energetic point of view, what we're thinking about is when we have a blueprint that is energy. So that field now has oscillations in the field that gets stuck. And those oscillations, it's almost like you could think of as like a ripple in the water. So you throw a stone and the water ripples. If you just had one stone hit and it rippled, that's an event like somebody cuts you off in traffic. And for a moment you go, "Ugh," and then you move on. You're probably not going to get an oscillation. But if you continue to throw the pebble over and over and you ripple it again and again, because you keep going back and saying, I always get cut off and, blah, 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 and you go back and you replay it. And that doesn't even have to be big trauma. Those can be small things that you just habitually think negatively all the time. When that gets stuck into the body, now it distorts the energy field. And that energy, because, in Chinese medicine, we always think about like you want to have flow in the body. And as soon as the energy gets stuck, it will pool in one spot, it stagnates. That's the signals now of pain. That's the signal of numbness.
If this sparks something for you, there's a much deeper conversation in the full episode. You can watch it here on YouTube or on Spotify or listen on Apple Podcasts. Like, subscribe, and stay connected for more.